Today's episode is brought to you by the folks over at SeatGeek, the best and easiest to use ticket platform out there. They take the confusion out of buying tickets using a 0 to 10 scoring system and a green is good, red is bad color rating system so you and your loved ones get the best deal possible. So whether it's going to see our beloved Redlegs at Great American Ballpark, the Bengals over at Paycor, FC Cincinnati, one of the area college teams, or pretty much anything in between, use promo code Riverfront at checkout and receive $20 off your first order. Click the link in the show notes to download the app and get started. That's Riverfront, one word, for $20 off.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to NBA Friday on a Thursday. I'm Tim
NBA
Daniel.
Thursday, Friday.
NBA Thursday, Friday, baby. Gotta love it. Tim Daniel here, as always, with Sean Mackey and Parker Fields. And gents, we're going to talk about the semifinals of the in-season tournament and maybe even pick who we think will win those games and maybe even play in the finals. And maybe we'll pick who we think will win the finals today. That's a spoiler alert. So really excited for that. This is a really fun one. I got an awesome question from one of our Patreon subscribers. I got to share you guys' way. But how are we doing, dudes? I know it's earlier than we normally do this. We're going up a day early due to the Crosstown Shootout pod going up Friday on the Riverfront U network, which you can subscribe to if you are not already. But fun in-season tournament for the debut. Really had fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, I texted Tim last night and I said, Tim, we were so wrong about this. Like, we thought this was gonna suck, and it's awesome. Like, it is genuinely awesome. These guys are taking it extremely serious. Like, in-season tournament, Anthony Davis is completely different than regular season Anthony Davis, apparently, because he's been a beast in all of these games.
Yes.
And like, I don't know. These guys are definitely taking it a little bit more serious. These guys are playing a little bit heavier minutes. They're all playing close to 40 minutes in each of these games. Like, these teams are taking it seriously. They're trying to win it, which we didn't think was going to happen, especially with a team like the Lakers. That was the one team we thought like wouldn't care at all, and they're taking it very seriously.
Yeah, I looked at I need to find the graphic, but we didn't do too bad on our picks for who were going to win the polls.
Yeah.
So Sean and I had the Knicks, so we got that going for us. We had the Lakers in the wild card spot and the Suns winning their poll, which so that both teams made it.
I think we were influenced by the Suns fan on the show, though, honestly. I think he kind of influenced us with his like heavy bias towards the Suns to start the show. I think he kind of, I don't know.
Yeah,
which trickled off from, let's talk about Shaq's time in Miami, and it was like, big cactus.
That's true. Yeah, I think I agree with everything. So Park and I are texting last night during the Lakers-Suns game, and they go into the half. The Lakers are up big, and I'm like, I text Park, and I'm like, they are feasting right now. They look unstoppable. And then the Suns make that comeback, and I text them back, and I go, never mind. And then, of course, the fourth quarter happens.
Austin Reeves happens.
Dude, yeah. So that play at the end, I know a lot of people are like fighting over. I thought the L2M report kind of made sense for once, where he had the ball pinned against his leg, and that's when LeBron called the timeout. I get why the Suns fans are mad. I would be mad. But I don't think the call was like super ridiculous, like Booker said.
Yeah, and also like you can see like it's almost like he loses possession and he kind of regained it as the timeout was being called, like at exactly that point where you're talking about where he had it pinned and then he lost it again. So like I don't know. I feel like if I was a Suns fan, I'd probably be pissed off. But I like the Lakers, so that's a great call.
Right. So that, and then like it's like I understand that you're mad about that, but you should also be mad that you gave up 22 offensive rebounds and had 24 turnovers.
Yeah, 100%. Like they just, I'm not the biggest believer in the Suns as a whole. I'm not gonna lie.
I just don't think they have the size.
Yeah, I just think like Yusuf Nurkic cannot guard Anthony Davis or Nikola Jokic. I'm sorry, he's gonna torch both. Actually, Jokic didn't play that good in that game against the Suns. But like Davis is just too athletic for him. He's just way too athletic, and that's the same if you went against like a Bam Adebayo or somebody like that in the finals. Like it's just way too much athleticism right there.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, even you talk about those two are obviously, but like even like a Şengün or a Chet.
Yeah, I just think any big really is going to dominate Nurkic. Like defensively, he's going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. It was a fun place to start on this is the Pacers Celtics game on Monday night was also unfreaking believable.
Yeah.
Tyrese Halliburton, man. I know I've talked about him all year. I know I've been like, this is my pick for the easiest over of the year, which is looking very good right now. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. We said he's the best offensive guard in the league right now. Not saying that's going to stand, but at the moment. And first primetime game, first TNT game of his career, he messes around and gets a triple-double against the NBA Finals favorites. And that game was incredible, and his performance was awesome. So kudos to the Pacers. I am so psyched to see how they compete tomorrow against the Bucks. I don't love that it's at 5 p.m. Eastern.
That's what time the game's on?
Yeah.
Little early.
Yeah,
I didn't even see that.
The East game's at 5 and the West game's at 9.
Okay.
I am really excited to see how this like dual broadcasting between ESPN and TNT is going to go. Like, how are Stephen A. Smith and Shaquille O'Neal going to do a broadcast together? That's going to be fascinating to me.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that is for the
I didn't even know they were doing that.
Yeah. So
yeah, they are doing that. I just forgot about it.
I guess for the Eastern Conference game, it'll start at noon our time, and just because it's considering the 4-hour difference between games. But whatever. This game's interesting. So you have Halliburton versus Lillard is obviously going to be the big matchup here. And I think the Pacers, and actually Sydney asked this question, so I'll get your guys' thoughts on it as well. I think they're just kind of at the point where they're just the most fun team in basketball to watch to me. They kind of remind me of those early 2010 Oregon Ducks football teams where it's just like everyone's fast.
The Mariota, D'Anthony Thomas era. Yeah.
LaMichael James group. They just all run really fast in one direction. And the quarterback just has to chuck it down there and they score 75 points a game. Where this Pacers team is like, Halliburton's just like, I'm going to pass it if I can, but if I need to score, I'm going to score.
Defense is out the window.
There's no such thing as defense. We're going to score 145 and we're going to give up 139 every night.
It's like, I'm going to say they're the second most exciting team in the NBA. I like watching the Kings better, but they're the very similar in play styles.
Yeah.
Very similar. They just, it's just up and down, and they don't really care about defense, either of those teams, honestly. And they're just led by a superstar point guard, young point guard, both those teams, who were teammates, which is just insane. Looking back on it.
What wouldn't have worked out?
I agree. I totally agree.
Neither would have became what they are right now if they were teammates still. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. I just feel like, it's a fascinating thing. Kudos to the Kings for drafting so well in that stretch. I'm sure you've seen that graphic that's been coming out where the Pacers now have 4 guys who are drafted in the lottery from the 2020 draft. Obi, Halliburton, Nesmith, and who's the 4th one? Obi, Halliburton, Nesmith.
Oh, Isaiah Jackson.
Oh no, Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith. Isaiah Jackson was 2021, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't even think about it. I completely forgot Aaron Nesmith was a high draft pick. I forgot about that, honestly.
Yeah. So, real quick, this game's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really high paced. I think Halliburton and the Pacers are kind of riding high right now, coming off that Celtics win. In a realistic situation, I probably would not pick them to beat the Bucks, but I'm feeling froggy. Feeling feisty. I'm taking a Pacers win over the Bucks tomorrow. I think Halliburton's going to have another just insane performance. And Obi Toppin's going to have some crazy dunk. And Dame's probably going to score 37, but I still think it's a Pacers win.
I'm going Bucks on that one.
I'm going Bucks.
I think I don't know. I think something's going to click with that team tomorrow, and they're gonna be like, we're not losing to the Pacers.
I just think that they can't guard Giannis, if you want me to be
Yeah.
serious. And
Yeah.
also partially, like, I don't want to see the Pacers. Like, I want to see Lakers versus Bucks, if I'm being completely honest. What I want to
Sure.
see.
Oh yeah.
I don't
yeah.
want to see Pacers
absolutely.
versus Pelicans. If I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, if we get Pacers Pelicans for the first in-season tournament final,
when it could have been Lakers Bucks too, like that was the other option.
When it could have been Lakers Bucks, it's gonna be a really big disappointment. So I don't know, man. I think the calls are gonna go some certain ways.
Agreed. And like I wanted to mention though, because we haven't talked yet about that Kings Pelicans game at all. I wanted to talk just a little bit about like I think Brandon Ingram has become the most underrated basketball player in the NBA. Like this dude is
really
good.
Having a good year.
Like he's a borderline top 15, top 20 player right now. Like I'd say he's in the 20 to 15 range, like getting closer to that like top 15. He's a really well-rounded player too. And I think he's the best player on the Pelicans, honestly. I think he's better than Zion at this point. Right now, at least how he's playing this season. And I think early on, people didn't think he was going to end up being like a winning player and everything. And he's available. That's the big thing with the Pelicans. He plays. That's been the problem with the team. He plays.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely. I'm a big Ingram guy, and I think that game's gonna be really fun too. So the spread in Milwaukee, Indiana is Milwaukee 4.5. So neutral court, obviously. I think that's good. So the over/under is 255.
Honestly, I would take the over. The Bucks can't play defense either.
Yeah, it's for sure an over.
Either. And what's it called? The thing that scares me with that matchup though is I know this from researching for sports betting all the time. The Pacers allow the most points per game in the NBA to power forwards. So that just kind of scares me in that matchup. Like they might have nobody to guard Giannis tomorrow. So this might be a Giannis 40 ball tomorrow night. I would not be shocked whatsoever, especially in a fast-paced game like that. Giannis might go for 40, but Halliburton might very well go for 42 tomorrow night.
Right, with 10 assists. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. All right, so I'm sticking with it. You guys haven't convinced me otherwise. I'm keeping my Pacers pick. All right. Lakers Pelicans. Spread, Lakers are 1.5 point favorites. This is the 9 o'clock. This is the nightcap game. Spread open at 2.
Tim, I forgot to mention real quick. I just looked it up because I thought this was what it was. Yeah, Giannis had 54. That was the game he had 54 2 weeks ago. Was versus the Pacers. Oh, yeah. That was the game.
Forgot about that.
So I don't know if they could guard Giannis. I'm going to be real. I don't know.
Probably not. Yeah. Lakers Pelicans. This is also, I think it's going to be really fun. You mentioned Ingram and what he's been doing of late. Jonas Valanciunas, though, against AD, I feel like is going to be kind of the downfall of this matchup. Yeah. AD, like you said, he's averaging nearly 13 rebounds a game right now. But Ingram is kind of doing for them what LeBron does for the Lakers. He's the leader in points and assists per game. Pelicans are really good. Obviously, they are 13th in the league in points, so they do have the edge on the Lakers there. But give up more points than the Lakers. I think they're slightly worse than them on defense, and obviously don't turn the ball over a lot. So I can't pick against LeBron and AD here. I just feel like they're going to take this game and just take care of business.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a game where the Pelicans are up for majority of the game, and then the fourth quarter, the Lakers come back and win the game. I think it'll be close throughout, but I feel like this is one of those games where the Lakers, struggle in a little first half, and then they come out and win the game late.
Yeah, I agree.
You said it was a 9.5 point spread? Did I hear you?
1.5.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 9.5. I was like, 9.5 point spread? I was like, that's pretty steep. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, it's a pretty big spread.
Well, I'm also gonna go with the Lakers on this. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that they're gonna win this. There's no way that AD and LeBron are just gonna let the bum Pelicans. I mean, they're not bums, but you know what I mean. They're just like they're not gonna let them, especially AD. I feel like AD, he probably feels kind of wronged from being there for so long, sure. and they didn't build shit around him. So I'd go at him hard, and like you said, P, I think he's just gonna just go out and just dominate. So
This is an AD masterclass written all over it, in my opinion.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. It does.
This is
There's
going to be
some history
like
here.
one of those bubble Anthony Davis, 34, 13, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Like,
Yeah, and it's just like Davis seems like, honestly, like it's just like when he wants to be the best player on the floor, he's the best player on the floor. And it's just like it depends on the freaking night or the quarter. Like last time you saw the first half, if you just watched the first half, you'd be like, there's no way there's a better basketball player on earth than this guy. And then you watch the second half, and you're like, what the hell is he doing out there?
yeah,
Like,
his numbers look good. Then you see he was 10 of 26.
like and it was the second half, he was like 1 of 11 or 1 of 12. Like he started off efficient. It was the second half that he just sometimes just is not aggressive.
That's the story of his whole career, man. I feel like when he really wants to be like the guy, he can turn it on, but a lot of games he doesn't turn it on, or he turns it on for just a couple quarters or whatever. And that's always been my problem with him. He is an incredible basketball player. I'd love to see some consistency from him.
You and everybody else.
It kind of works right now.
I've been saying this for a while.
It is kind of working. Their like thing they got going on where like AD dominates the first half and then LeBron takes over in the second half. That's like what's been going on recently in games with the Lakers. Like AD gets off to a super hot start. They have a lead early, then they lose the lead, and then LeBron just comes in the fourth quarter and dominates. That's like been a trend with the Lakers this season.
Yeah.
Like AD has really not been doing much in the second half all season long. Like I'd like to see his splits like first half compared to second half this season. They're probably pretty drastic, honestly.
I'm sure they are. All right. Well, let's see. So I have Lakers Pacers. You both have Lakers Bucks. Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern. Has to be the night of Crosstown. Just has to be. Thanks a lot, NBA. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just like we've been saying this whole thing here. I'm gonna take the Lakers to win it. I just feel like it's something where they, it's the inaugural one, right? They want to make the history. They've got the 2 guys there, and even if it is the Bucks, as much as I think the Bucks would definitely be a fight, and like they fight like hell with them, at some point, this is a situation where LeBron could add yet another thing to his legacy, and he's going to have an opportunity to do so in a single elimination game. Yeah, I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah, I want to see Davis versus Giannis too down low again. They always play like they always go hard against each other, and that's always a fun matchup down low on the block and everything in the paint. I'm gonna go with the Lakers to beat the Bucks. I just think that defensively the Lakers are going to be able to get more stops down the stretch than the Bucks are going to be able to get against the Lakers down the stretch. I just don't think the Bucks really have anybody to guard LeBron, in all honesty. And then I just think that LeBron's going to be able to do his thing in the fourth quarter, clutch time, and win the game, honestly.
This feels like one of those like Cam Reddish 16-point games where
Cam Reddish, a little good game. The Bucks game feels like a D-Lo game to me because they can't guard the perimeter. They still have really good rim protection. They can't guard the perimeter. They give up way too many open threes. That sounds like a D-Lo 8-3 random night for me. I feel like that's going to be a D-Lo actual good game.
Yeah. Also going Lakers, guys. No changes from the plan here. So we're all in agreement. And I'm not even going to do like a hot take. I'm not even going to do a hot take and just say like, Bucks are going to win this. I'm going to say that the Lakers are going to win. I think they won it right now. And this might be, their one thing they win this year,
Yeah. I still think they're going to make some crazy trade.
They are. They're 100% are going to make a trade.
The Mavs have been starting to collapse, people. They started off the season really hot. I'm just saying. They're like 11-9 now. They were like 7-1. You're telling me if they're below 500 at the deadline, they're not going to move Kyrie to the Lakers? I could see it.
There goes Parker.
That's my take. Keep an eye on the Mavericks.
You and Kyrie.
I love Kyrie Irving. I'm down with Kyrie.
Yeah, that D'Angelo Russell trade is for sure like we can move this, as my daughter is moving the microphone as I give her a bottle.
I don't even know. What would that even be? D'Lo and who for Kyrie? I feel like you'd have to give up Reeves, honestly.
I think, any trade. everyone's going to ask for Reeves. So I know the Lakers are going to do whatever they can to not trade him.
They're not going to want to trade Reeves, though.
I
That's the
agree.
problem.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree.
He's just like he's just intangibly like too good of a player. Like he doesn't fear anything. He plays better in the bigger moments and stuff. And I don't. That's valuable.
That and like he's got that kind of like.
Yeah, he's just got that swagger, and chemistry with LeBron, and he just like I don't know. I like Reeves a lot as a player. I just think he got off to a bad start to start the season.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he needs more minutes off the bench. He's only been playing like 25 minutes a night. I think he needs to play 30, but
I'm with you. All right, so Patreon questions where you also, if you're a part of patreon.com/RiverfrontCincy, you can ask us questions here as well. So first one we kind of touched on already is we talked about both parts of it. It's from good friend Sydney Price. It's are the Pacers the most fun team to watch in the league, and could you see them beating the Bucks tomorrow? And I said yes and yes on my side. And Parker already said the Kings, but
they're definitely up there for me too. I just like the Kings roster a little bit more, honestly.
Yeah.
That's probably Kentucky bias though too. That the two guys that are out there scoring on the perimeter were like my favorite college team growing up as a kid. So that's probably why too. Yeah, I definitely think the Pacers could win tomorrow. Do I think they are going to? No, but am I going to be shocked if they do? No, I'm not going to be shocked.
I feel like I'm not going to be shocked about anything that happens over the next 2 days because we could end up with a Pelicans, cup at the end of this, and it could be real. You guys, I got to ask, what's the celebration going to look like?
I feel like if the Lakers win, it's gonna be like a dap up, like dap up real quick. Yeah, but I feel like if the Pelicans or Pacers win, it's gonna be like a celebration.
Oh, dude! Like if the Pacers win,
fireworks.
Damian Lillard might celebrate. Shit, he's never won anything, so he's gonna be.
If the Pacers win this tournament, mark my words, there will be a banner in Gamebridge. They will for sure put a banner.
Same with the Pelicans.
There'll be a banner with any of these teams.
They put a banner up for winning the Central. No one even cares about the divisions in the NBA.
Are the Lakers going to have a banner? No, right?
I doubt it. If the Celtics were in this, I thought the Celtics would have put up a banner if they wanted. They care about the Larry, and that's all they care about.
The in-season tournament champs trophy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Don't be wrong. I'm sure LeBron would absolutely love to make Maxwell Lewis $500K.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's probably all he cares about.
Yeah. What's his name? Fudge on the bench. I don't know his first name.
Jalen Hood-Schifino.
Yeah, but he's got that first round money, so that'll definitely be nice for him, obviously. But he's not struggling by any means. He's got that first round money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I think the Pacers will definitely put up a fun couple days. And then Hunter Martin asked this one, and I'm very excited, especially because Parker's already talked about two of these three guys. He asked us to power rank 1 through 3 Tyrese Halliburton, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and De'Aaron Fox. That's a tricky one.
Yeah, that's
my
tough.
daughter pulls my headphone jack out.
I'm sorry. So SGA, Halliburton, and who?
Fox.
And Fox.
Yeah, not easy. It's not easy.
Not at all.
At the moment, I think Shai's the best of the three.
Yeah. I'm going Shai number 1, without a doubt. He's the most proven player here, and also just, all of these guys are absolutely detrimental to their team. If they get hurt, the team is in bad shape. So, but I think I'm gonna go. Man, what a
good question.
That's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's a
great
toss-up.
question.
I think I'm gonna go SGA, Fox, Halliburton.
I think I will too. Just because at this point we all know what they are offensively. I think that's the order and how good they are defensively. And that's not a knock on any of them. That's probably the 3 best point guards in the NBA right now.
Which Halliburton, that's not a good thing because he has all the tools to be an elite defender.
He's been a plus defender in the past.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He out of college, that was his thing. That was one of his big things people liked about him was his defensive upside. I'm with you guys. I think overall, I think like in terms of what they do, Shea and Fox are extremely similar in like the production, not their play style, but production wise. And I would go Shea a little edge over Fox, and then Halliburton right behind them. I think it's close between all three of them,
I do
though,
too.
honestly. And I think all three of them have a case to be top 10 players in the NBA right now. I think
Yeah.
all three of them have a case.
Yeah.
I think Shea is a top 10 player. And then I think the other two have a legitimate case, especially over guys who aren't playing that well this year, like Kawhi or somebody like that. Definitely could take his spot.
I was really curious about this because since the All-Star Game's in Indy this year, does Halliburton somehow beat Dame out in votes to start the East?
Yes, maybe. He's having a better year.
He's definitely having a better year.
He's definitely, but it is Damian Lillard.
Right.
But I feel like Halliburton's starting to become a pretty well-liked guy in the league.
Sure.
Like I feel like he's definitely gaining some traction in terms of like a fan base and stuff. Definitely. I just feel like his play style resonates with people a lot too, because I mean, honestly, him and Trae Young, well, not even though there's really no pass first like starting point guards in the NBA in this day and age. Maybe Tyus Jones.
Yeah,
but like it's just crazy because like Young and Halliburton obviously pass a lot, but they're not pass first.
Yeah, which is wild considering Halliburton leads the league in assists.
Yeah. Both of like him and Trae Young both put up crazy assist numbers, and neither of them are pass first players by any means. Yeah, that's a good question.
I liked it. I thought that those were pretty fun. All right, so let's go ahead and get to our flashback here.
I wanted to ask this real quick though. Do you think those guys are going to have playoff success this season?
The Bucks and the Pacers?
No. The three guys we just talked about: Fox, Shea, and two topics ago, Halliburton.
You don't think they're going to have playoff success, Tim?
I mean, Fox last year was dominant in the series. They just lost, but he put up some crazy numbers in that series. But they lost in 7.
I think OKC definitely could.
I think the Thunder are going to be one of those 2 or 3 seeds that loses in the first round this year. I'm going to be honest. I think they're a year away from actually like making a run in the playoffs. I think they're good. Don't get me wrong, but I think they're still too young right now at this point. I think if they face off against a team like, I don't know, like at this rate, they'd be playing like the Suns in the first round. I just don't think they're going to beat a team like that. Now, if they get like the Warriors, they could definitely beat the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors are very good at all this year, but I think if they get a tough matchup in that first round, it's going to be tough for them to win. Like if they get the Clippers or somebody, even though the Clippers have been bad, I just think it's going to be tough for them to get out of the first round in the West.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think the Kings could, but in the playoffs, you do have to play defense and get stops, and they don't do that. And obviously, we know the Pacers don't either. But the East is so weird and so top heavy.
Also, shockingly, the Pacers, like their record isn't that great, is it?
No.
Yeah, like they're 6th in the East right now, and I don't think they're going to climb over like the Celtics, the Bucks, the 76ers. Probably the Heat actually look good in the regular season right now, which is rare. So I don't think they're passing any of those teams. So they're probably going to be the 6 or 5 seed at most. So honestly, like I was just curious what you guys thought, because I just think I don't know. It's still, even in this day and age, like even with how good guard play is in the NBA, it's still hard to lead your team as a point guard and like be a good team in the playoffs. Like Curry's still the only guy that's really had that success as a point guard. Harden, obviously, with the Rockets had a lot of success too, but he didn't get over the hump.
Not in the playoffs.
We're about to talk about that, aren't we?
Yep.
We're about to talk about that because I'm a big believer that he should have. He was about to.
Oh yeah. So this week's flashback segment, as Parker kind of hinted to there just a second ago, we're going to talk about the 2 years of Chris Paul in Houston, and just how close that team was to actually beating the Warriors. First things first about that team is they were awesome, and James Harden, the fact that he screwed that up is maybe the biggest flaw of his career, because that team was so good. And for some reason, he was like, "This whole playing with Chris Paul thing isn't very fun." It's probably because Chris Paul probably pressured him to be better, and he probably didn't like that. But
Let me go get Westbrook.
yeah, exactly. So Harden wins an MVP in this stretch over LeBron. Should not have won it, but did. PJ Tucker's on this team. Trevor Ariza. Who else?
Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson.
And Anderson.
This is the Mike D'Antoni coach team.
Gerald Green.
Gerald Green. I'm trying to think.
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon was the third leading scorer on that team.
And Clint Capella. Yeah.
Capella was like an all-star level borderline center at that time. He was putting up some pretty big numbers at the time. He was really good. Arguably the most fun team to watch of all time. Like legitimately, James Harden in that stretch was so exciting to watch. In the regular season.
I remember when they played the Cavs, and this is obviously LeBron's last year. They had a game, I think they scored like 143 points in the Cavs.
Yeah, no, they did. And even in the playoffs, I think it was the first year they faced the Jazz. And James Harden at this point was so good at offense that Ricky Rubio was playing defense behind him. Because you couldn't guard the guy at that point. So they were just trying to make him kick it out is what the plan was, and just hope people miss threes, because the guy was unstoppable offensively at that point in the NBA.
He was. That team was just a blast, man. And like, you just kind of saw this. They basically just didn't care who they were playing. They rolled the ball out and they beat everybody. They beat, so obviously, like you mentioned, they get to the Jazz. They get to the Western Conference Finals against Golden State. They take a 3-2 lead in that series. And then Chris Paul gets hurt. Shocking, I know. Playoffs, Chris Paul. It's like clockwork. Him and Blake Griffin always get hurt in the playoffs.
And of course, that was the year he was probably going to get a title too. That was his best chance.
Which is funny because he went to a team that played for a title.
But that was his best chance.
That was definitely his best chance. But so obviously, you go through game 6, and they have a pretty big lead going to the half of that game against Golden State. And then Golden State makes a run. And then game 7, no Paul, obviously. And that is the infamous 27 straight missed threes game, which is still unbelievable that team, especially of all teams, could not hit threes. And it was just like brutal to watch because I was at the point where I was so sick of the Warriors at that time. And I just wanted to see someone else win. Especially, I didn't think the Cavs had a shot at beating the Rockets, but with Jeff Green as their second best player.
Yep.
But
you know what's funny? I was just looking through the stats for those games, and do you guys know there's one washed star that got probably like 18 minutes in that series for the Rockets, who was totally playing bench warmer. Do you remember who it was?
Let me think. He was a star, like an all-star?
He was an all-star, multi-time all-star.
What position?
Shooting guard.
I know. Joe Johnson.
Who was Joe Johnson? Yeah,
That's
Joe Johnson
right.
played for that team.
I forgot he played for that team.
I completely forgot that he was.
I think they got him from the Jazz at the deadline, if I remember correctly.
That's right.
Yeah, that team. I mean, what did Harden? The first year wasn't the crazier year of the stats. What did he average the second year of that team? Like 37,
36, 37. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that was. I think it was the most points since Jordan, like in his third year or whatever. Like before Jordan had any help and he was shooting every time down the floor. It was the most points in the NBA since then, and he was like the 4th player ever to average 35 points or more in the NBA. And I mean, it was just insane that year, especially because that year, the second year, they got off to a really rough start. To start the regular season, they got off to a really rough start, and then Harden went on that streak where he was dropping 50-point triple doubles every night, and they went on a crazy winning streak, and they ended up being like the 3rd seed and winning 50 games after getting off to a bad start. And that team was just super exciting to watch. The second year as well, they lost to the Warriors in the second round. And
was that 5?
No, they took them to 6.
Okay.
And it was very like they could have won that series too. Like they lost every game they lost was last couple minutes, couple plays didn't go down their way down the
Oh yeah,
stretch.
that's the series
They
Durant
lost.
got hurt, right?
Yep. Durant got hurt in like game 4. I think when he got hurt, it was 2-2, and then the Warriors closed him out because I remember people thought the Rockets were going to win it because he wasn't coming back, and it was 2-2 at the time, and everybody thought that the Rockets were going to win it at that point, and then they just blew 2 games in a row at home, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and I think it's like just so we talk about these things with James Harden with this whole jumps from team to team, blows every team up. I call him the franchise serial killer. Very proud of that.
I love it.
Very proud of it. And that was like, I don't know what he saw in that group that he was like, we can't do this, especially because Golden State you knew was kind of coming to an end at that point, especially after the Durant injury. That was the fight with Draymond. This is why I'm leaving on like mouthed on the court by Durant. The Lakers were not put together yet to what they were. That was still LeBron and the young kids before, and then before they get Davis.
That offseason was when they got Davis, though, the same offseason that they got Westbrook. I mean, honestly, yeah, I don't know what the Rockets, why they didn't run that back one more year, especially like with the KD leaving. Why would you not? Because that trade happened after free agency.
Yeah.
So why would you not run that back? That made no sense to me at all.
No.
They could have definitely – I don't know if they would have had the size to beat the Lakers that year. But, I mean, you should have at least ran it back, man. Instead, they picked up Westbrook and then traded Clint Capella and ran 5 guards.
Iris has something to say about it, obviously. Yeah, it just was like, and then of course the year after that is they go get John Wall and Boogie, and Harden shows up super overweight, and
that was fat Harden.
And so Harden's last game with the Rockets is that game where LeBron shoots the 3 in the corner and turns around and looks at Dennis Schroeder as it goes in. And that was like what like Boogie and Wall go into that press conference, and Boogie's like, I can't play with this dude. I can't play with James Harden. Like, just kind of just like tears him down.
Yeah.
Just an unbelievable moment. So I think that was when I kind of figured out James Harden's never going to win a title.
Yeah.
And I don't think he cares.
No.
He doesn't care.
No, he's like,
he always, I love this like facade that he puts on. Anytime he switches a team, it's all about winning. It's all, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, dude, no, it's not. It's never been that about you. It's just been about you. That's it. There's nothing else.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I don't think his like work ethic or anything's a problem. I think the guy works like crazy on his game. I just think he cares about his individual numbers and stuff a lot more than winning. I don't think it's a like he doesn't work hard, because I think the guy, I mean, you're not that freaking skilled at basketball without putting in the work.
Right.
Like his skill level is not up. He's one of the most skilled players of all time.
Well, he blows up this Clippers thing, and he's like tearing it up for the Shanghai Sharks next year, putting up 75 points a game with Russ Smith.
With Russ Smith and Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah. So then, like, he can
Old
go.
Jimmer.
I mean, Trace McGrady played a little bit in China, but that was because like no one in the NBA wanted him after his injuries. So
yeah, the thing with Harden is like, I feel so bad for Russell Westbrook, man. Like he was playing so good, and now it's just he's in Harden's shadow.
Yeah, remember they got a game on the Lakers in the bubble playoffs.
They did the first game.
Yeah. And
that was the theme. The Lakers lost like every game won that playoffs besides the finals, I believe.
They lost.
They lost game 1 to the Trailblazers too.
They did to the Trailblazers, and they lost in the middle of the series.
Oh, to the Nuggets.
Denver. Yeah.
Okay. I know they won in 5 every series till the Heat.
Yeah, and and like because I remember that was when Westbrook got into that thing with Rondo's brother, because it was when they were allowing family in.
Mm-hmm.
And so he like yelled at him like on the sidelines during a game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I just thought that'd be a fun one. Just that Houston team and reflecting on James Harden's greatest run that didn't matter.
As time passes, do you think he's going to become overrated or underrated like in NBA history?
I think he's going to be one of those guys that we look at like Tim Hardaway, where it's like, man, like he was so good. He
Wait,
was
Tim
so unbelievable.
Hardaway, Tim. I'm sorry. That is disrespectful to James Harden.
No. I'm not saying
That's
comparing
very
them.
disrespectful to James Harden. I'm not gonna lie.
You're
The
missing my
guy's a
point.
top.
You're missing my point. I'm saying like I'm not comparing them, but like he's one of those guys that's like, yeah, he's super good, and we have this situation.
Well, you had to say James Harden was super good.
Yeah.
She's a big Tim Hardaway fan.
Clearly. Wait, Tim left this. He didn't even give us the ability to stop it. He should have paused the recording. We can't.
So I think he's the Charles Barkley of guards, right? You hear Simmons say it all the time on his podcast. He's gonna be the best player. Probably he's gonna be the best player, never win a title until Luka or somebody becomes better than him.
See, now that was an awesome comparison. Actually, thinking about it, Charles Barkley and Harden, like, yeah, that was an awesome. Because that was like he was a top 3 to 5 player in the league at certain points of his career, but he's just not gonna ever get it done.
Yeah. And don't disrespect Tim Hardaway, all right?
How could I disrespect somebody who
we
wears
might
the
have
Nike
to
Air
we might have to cut that up and put that like a little short, that right there, the Tim Hardaway scream.
Oh boy. But also I hate James Harden, so I hope he never does win a title, and I'm glad to see him not do well. So
he doesn't care what you think. He can still go to strip clubs, Tim.
I know.
Literally. The strip clubs will always be available for him.
Yeah. All right, dudes. Well, I think we can go here and wrap this up with our starting 5. This is my draft this week. So I picked the top Chicago Bulls of the 1990s, not named Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. So I know that the Jordan truthers will try to use this draft to say why he's better than LeBron. That's not what we're getting to here. Get over it. We're just gonna have a little fun here. So this is like I said, this is the guys that helped him win the title. All the role players, the guys like that you saw in both three-peats. And I guess I have the first pick since it was my draft. And I'm going to take a guy that I talked about a couple weeks ago with Sean in our underrated 90s guards. One of the 2 guys who made the All-Star team in the 90s for the Bulls that weren't Jordan or Pippen. Yeah, I know. I'm taking BJ Armstrong. First pick.
BJ, babyface juice.
He made it. Didn't he make it one of the years Jordan wasn't there?
Yep.
Yes.
I thought.
Yeah. He had a few good years. BJ's like an all-timer for me, and also just a fan favorite from that era. So good shooter, just great player.
Yeah. So Parker's got the 2 and Sean's got the wraparound.
I'm gonna take Horace Grant with this pick. He was the original 3rd best player on the first 3 title teams. And then he went on to be on the Magic team, which was their rival for a couple years there. Horace Grant was an awesome player. Made a couple All-Star teams in his career, correct?
Yep.
I want to say he did.
He's the other guy that made the All-Star team.
Yeah, I believe he was.
He made one. He made one. He's a he's a 4-time All-Defensive Second Team player, 4-time NBA champion because he did win one with the Lakers.
What year was he on the Lakers team? Which year? 2000?
2001. 2001. Yeah.
I think he was there for a couple years, actually.
Yeah, but he only won one title.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Dude, Horace Grant's a real one, man.
Yeah. Could not play the current NBA whatsoever, but
no.
For his time.
No.
Yeah. For his time, he was awesome. Probably would have learned some skills if he was born nowadays that would help him in the current NBA. Maybe, I don't know. But career 11-8, you're not really going to find much better than that on these teams, especially when the NBA wasn't as high scoring in the 90s still.
Right. So, Sean, you got 2 here.
Well, got to take my favorite player of all time, Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
Got to do it. Can't not. Greatest defensive basketball player probably ever, and just an all-time favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and take Rodman. Pretty easy pick right there. Can't believe you took Grant over the worm, P. But that's fine. That's
I mean,
fine.
he took B.J. Armstrong over the Worm.
I know he was starting it off fun. He was just starting it off fun.
okay.
You should have known better. All right. For my wraparound pick, I am gonna go for I'm gonna go for probably like another one of my favorite players, one of my favorite coaches, just all around great guy, Steve Kerr.
Nice. Like the Rodman Kerr combo.
Yeah, gotta have it.
What is he, an 8-time NBA champion? Or 9-time? I think he's a 9-time champion.
I think he's a 9-time, yeah.
He's
9-time NBA
3 with the
champion.
Bulls, 1 with the Spurs. Did 2
Maybe
with
he's
the
an
Spurs?
8-time. I thought he had 2 with the Spurs.
2 with the
that's why he
Spurs,
had-
2.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 4 as a coach.
Yeah, 9. He's got 9. Incredible.
All right, P, we got here for me.
For my next pick here, I think I'm gonna go with John Paxson. He was the Kerr before Kerr, correct, on those teams. Like I wasn't alive during these teams, but I watched The Last Dance. I know a lot of these guys. Really good spot up shooter from everything I know, everything I've watched. Really good spot up shooter. Seemed like a hard nosed player, played hard, and Jordan trusted him in the clutch. I know he hit a big time shot with Michael Jordan. Jordan trusted him in the clutch, and he was a knockdown shooter. So I'm gonna go with John Paxson.
I like
Grace is Iris is like, yeah, but he also ruined the Bulls front office
yeah.
for many years. She's like, wait, I got something.
She's like, he's the reason my dad won't let me be a Bulls fan.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got 2.
Go for it.
So I'm gonna go Tony Kukoc. Feel like at this point that was fairly obvious. And then even though I took BJ Armstrong, I'm gonna take another perimeter defender guard. I'm gonna take Ron Harper.
Oh.
Damn, I forgot about Ron Harper.
I didn't. Sean Mackey doesn't forget about
Ron Harper. Also was like a all-star level player, correct? Before he joined the Bulls, wasn't he like I believe so? If you look at his stats, I'm pretty sure
he was.
Yeah, he averaged
on the cusp.
He averaged over 20 points a game for 10 years.
Has my favorite
9 years, 8 years.
When you talk about The Last Dance, has the best clip that no one talks about. When he's on Cleveland, they talk about when Craig Elo guarded Michael, and he comes out of the huddle, he's like, I'm gonna guard Michael, and the coach is like, no, we're gonna have Craig guard. And he says in the sense of like, all right, well, we lost. And then Kukoc, of course, gets beat into by the 92 Dream Team. The infamous story when Jordan and Pippen were just hunting him, and the rest of the team was like, guys, take it easy.
Yeah, they were deliberately going after him.
Yeah.
So, well, on that note, I am going to take Tony Kukoc as my my next pick because
he took Kukoc.
Yeah.
Oh, you took Kukoc? Did you take him?
I took Kukoc and Harper.
Oh, you took Kukoc before Harper. Okay.
Yeah,
and you skipped Parker.
Okay.
Jeez.
Well, damn it, guys. Let's get on with it.
All right.
How am I going to pick Judd Buechler?
Yeah, it starts getting real scarce.
Yeah, it gets real slim pretty soon.
All right. I'm going to go with 44-year-old Robert Parrish. I'm just kidding.
Hey, he's got a title with the Bulls.
Which I had no idea was a thing until I've been looking at the rosters. I'm gonna go with here. This gets real scarce.
Yes, it does.
I'm gonna go with Bill Winnington.
Nice.
Nice.
Center for those Bulls teams.
Silky smooth mid-ranger.
Yeah, backup big center on those Bulls teams would have no chance of playing in the NBA in today's league.
Not even close.
But I'm gonna go with Bill Winnington. This gets really scarce. If people complain about the talent in today's NBA, they're crazy.
Yeah.
Look at some of these names right now.
Yeah. Luke Longley's got a documentary about him that no one's seen.
Did somebody draft Longley yet? I thought he was drafted. Damn it! That's why I took Winnington. I would have drafted Luke Longley. Damn.
Yeah, he didn't even take the starting center.
Yeah, I thought Longley had been taken. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was taken, so I went with Winnington.
All right, Shawnee, you got 2 now.
Am I up?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna take one of my favorite Hornets of the 90s and one-time Chicago Bull, Scott Burrell.
There you go. Has a great chapter in the last episode of the last book.
This is where we're at. We're not talking about how they were as players. We're talking about their ability to talk on a documentary.
Yeah. And then
this is where we're at as players here.
So you got the next pick too.
I have the next pick too. Okay. Well, since I've already got Rodman, I've got to have the guy that sits on the bench with him, who they literally pay to be his friend. So I'm gonna take Jack Haley, who literally was paid to be Dennis Rodman's best friend in the 1995-1996 season. He is one of the worst. Like, if you go back, he played for 10 years and he never averaged more than 4 points a game.
Nice. Sounds fitting for that era.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So Parker, what we got?
I'm gonna just go with some size in this lineup
Yeah,
to pair.
Enough size.
No. We're going with Bill Cartwright here, the starting center of the first three-peat. Started center for all three of those teams, so I'm gonna go with Bill Cartwright here.
Nice. That leaves me with very little.
Who was a 20-point per game scorer before the Bulls,
And former Bulls head coach.
and an all-star player.
Yeah.
Well,
when he was with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an all-star on the Knicks. His rookie year, he was an all-star. 22-9 in his rookie year.
Well, I got all my scoring and defense, so I got to start getting my bigs because this is the 90s, baby, and we need a rebound.
And my team's got all of the big men, so you got to be able to bang inside with that team.
So I'm going to take Will Perdue, which is the most unenthusiastic draft pick in the history of this show.
Damn it, I wanted him.
And then with Will Perdue, I'm going to take his teammates, current color commentator of the Chicago Bulls. Give me the hot sauce himself. Stacey King is going to round out my team. This team sucks.
No, this might have been the funniest draft we will ever do. This team is awful. Both of these teams are not very good.
Even Iris is like, Dad, what are you doing? Stacey King, really?
All right, we need a guard now. We need a guard. I'm not enthused to make this pick, but I'm going to.
That's the idea of this draft.
I'm going with the backup point guard of the second three-peat, Randy Brown.
Hell yeah, dude. I love Randy
Brown.
Brown.
Play the point guard position for this squad.
Give me some Randy.
Yeah.
Yep. He was a point guard who in his entire career made a total of, let me pull this up, 24 threes in his entire NBA career. 24 of 120 in a 11-year NBA career.
Hey,
that is insane.
You know what's also funny is he had to guard Penny Hardaway in the playoffs one year.
This team is horrible. Who do I have? Bill Whittington. No.
Horace Grant was your first.
Horace Grant, Whittington, Cartwright, Paxson, and Randy Brown. That team. Horace Grant's playing the three, apparently, on this team.
I got BJ, Harper, Kukoc.
Your team isn't that
Stacey
bad.
King, and Will Perdue.
Your team's better than... I mean, honestly, in the 90s, that team probably wins, like...
44 games.
Yeah, you're an 8 seed, honestly, with that team. My team is not... My team's winning 15 with that roster. We're an expansion team.
All right, Sean. So you have the final pick in this draft. Don't get too excited.
There's some good players out there, Sean.
There's still some diamonds in the rough.
There's one particular.
There is. Is Judd Buechler still alive? Is he still around? No, I meant like, is he still around? I didn't mean to say. I just said the wrong thing.
All right, no, I'm not taking old Jetty boy. All right, I'm taking 4-time NBA champion, former bad boy, number 22 retired from Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, Mr. John Sally.
There you go.
There you go.
Best players left on the board is
Robert Parrish at 44 years old.
Robert Parrish at 44 years old. Luke Longley, who was the starting center on one of the 3P teams. Craig Hodges, who won a 3-point contest.
Yeah, Craig Hodges. I forgot about him. Yeah, that's a player.
And I think from there, best is used very lightly.
Yeah, I think like looking at some of these names here, Matt Steingenga, no idea who that is.
What do you mean you don't know who Matt Steinganga is?
No idea.
I mean, you can't even get his name in 2K because they can't find him to get his likeness.
Dickie Simpkins.
That's my dog. Dickie's my dude.
We got Bison Deli.
He's dead. Actually, no, he's missing.
Yeah.
I know the name Jason Caffey. I've heard of him before.
Love Jason Caffey.
Know him. I'm just looking at these.
So Dickie's a
draft
scout
is-
in the league now. So I see him on occasion.
We might have to do this with like LeBron teammates too, outside of
Well,
the
it's your
outside
turn
of
to
big
pick-
three members on the teams.
It's your turn to pick the next draft. So have at it.
I say we do LeBron teammates.
All right.
Non-members, non-all-star teammates.
Okay. So like, but guys, so like Sean Marion and Shaq would count because they weren't all stars when they played.
Yes,
with them.
not all-stars when they played. But see, the thing is, then Mo Williams doesn't count because he was an all-star. So, all right, we'll sacrifice no Mo Williams either. No all-star teammates of LeBron. That's what we'll go with.
This is still capable of putting a decent team together.
Yeah, no, 100%. But there is no Mo Williams available now.
Yeah, but Russell
He did
Westbrook
make
didn't
an
make the All-Star with LeBron now, did he?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
You-
true.
you-
Westbrook's available, but you get Lakers edition of Westbrook.
Right. That's like
You don't get Thunder Westbrook here.
That's like you get Cavs Antoine Jameson.
Yeah, in Cat, which actually was a pretty good player, honestly, still for a couple of years there. Or you also get Cavs Shaq. LeBron has had a lot
Ben
of
Wallace.
legends he's played with, like at the end of their careers. Lakers Dwight Howard.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, he's played with a lot of legendary players, like at the end of their careers.
I like it. Well, I think with that being said, we can go and wrap up this week's edition of A Day Early NBA Friday. Thank you all for tuning in as always. If you do get a chance, please subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice and also give us a nice subscription on the YouTube channel if you're watching there. So next week, we're back to our regular schedule with the LeBron teammate, non-all-star teammate draft. So on
Well
behalf
said.
of Sean and Parker, we're going to wrap this up. See you guys next week.
See you guys.